Hello folklore founders, we are here today in northwest Leicestershire with this view. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And here behind me is Breedon Priory, up on the hill at Breedon on the hill. And our folk tale for today, our folklore, doesn't start here but finishes here. No, our folklore found today starts that way. Shall we go and find it? Come with me. So here we are in the beautiful little hamlet of Griffydam, northwest Leicestershire. It's such a historically important village. It's got a heritage trail. It's got loads of boards. You'd have seen one a minute ago telling you the history of this village. It's really, really lovely. But I'm walking down this little lane. I'm walking down this little lane because I'm after something. I'm after where my story begins. So let's go for a walk and let's find out some more. So, back in the medieval times, this village was a tiny little hamlet surrounded by woodland, and it was famous for two things: for brick making and for wool. Why did it spring up here though? Well, it sprang up here in this place, this village, because of a spring, a well that I'm taking you to. This well had fresh water, and it was rumoured that the water from this spring had special properties. It had minerals in it that would make you live longer, make you feel healthier. And so people would often come around to not only buy bricks and to buy wool, but also the third famous thing, to drink from the well and feel healthier. But one day a boy walked down to the well, down this path that I'm walking now, and he walked round the corner. There on the well was a beast. This beast was huge. It's the size of a car. It had the body of a lion, front legs, talons like that of an eagle, the head of an eagle, a great beak but with spiky teeth inside, and curled around its back were two giant wings. The boy panicked, not knowing what to do. He ran back up the lane to get help. This is the well nowadays, but back when the boy discovered this beast, it was just a bubbling brook in the ground. He ran back to the villagers and he told the villagers what he'd seen, and they all rallied together. The men gathered tools, axes, spears, forks, pitchforks, you name it, they gathered them together and they came down to do something about this beast. When they rounded the corner, they saw it. It was huge. Their hearts felt like they were going to explode from their chests, for fear grabbed hold of them. The men, though, they bravely approached. And as they got closer, the Griffin opened one eye, saw they were coming close, and with a single swipe of its claw, knocked them to one side. And it carried on, sleeping. What were they going to do? The villagers withdrew quickly back to the village, and they had an idea. They would go and ask the brave, kind, knowledgeable monks and the priest at the priory at Breedon.
It's absolutely beautiful in here. You'll see some shots of it. The stonework is fantastic. It is beautiful. On a lovely sunny day, there is no better place. So this is where the people of Griffydam came. This is where they came to pray, to worship every Sunday. And this is where they came to ask the monks, the priests, help and advice. How were they going to get rid of this beast, this thing, this creature that was blocking the well, that was stopping the water that they relied on? And the old priest here at the priory, he said, well, this thing, this creature, it sounds like a griffin to me. A griffin, and to get rid of a griffin, all you have to do is wait. It will get tired eventually and it will leave, but until then, there's nothing you could do about it. And so the people had no choice other than to wait. And they went back to the village.
The villagers came back to the village, knowing full well what they had to do. Thanks to the monks and the priest, they had to wait. So for many days they would travel that extra far distance out to the nearest water source, which was some miles away, just to get their water. And it was getting beyond a joke. That griffin just stayed sleeping there on that well for days and days and days, until my friends, until one day a chivalric knight came. He came riding on a steed, dressed head to toe in the shiniest armour. He came to drink the waters from the well. But the people, they told him of the griffin, they told him that he could not partake in the water. So the knight said, I'll do something about it. So he did. He rode down to the well. The people of the village, they followed him and they watched as he took out his sword and he charged at the beast, only to be battered away like the other villagers were. The knight realised he had to be cunning, smart and clever. He sized up the opponent. Those giant wings were like a suit of armour. He wasn't going to get through that with his sword or his bow and arrow. Then he had an idea. And he called out, "Hey, beastie, wake up!" Well, that did the trick. The griffin woke up. He looked at the knight and said, "My bird! My misunderstood bird!" And as he shouted, he opened his beak. He opened his beak so wide that the knight was ready for him. He'd already knocked an arrow into his bow. He drew it back to his cheek and he loosed it straight into the mouth of the griffin, and it found the soft part of the palate at the top of its mouth, and it pierced right up into his brain and killed the griffin dead. The people cheered, the people celebrated. The knight was a hero. Well, whether this tale is true or not, there is no denying that in this tale the griffin does damn the source of water here in the village. Griffydam. It makes sense, doesn't it? But of course the origins of the name are somewhat disputed. Griffins being widely renowned as a mythical beast. However, there could be some truth in it. We just don't know. Well, here we are back at the Priory. This is where the Griffin ended up. Once it had been slain by that mighty knight, its carcass was brought here to the Priory and it was hung above that door over there. And that's where its head stayed for many, many, many years. It stayed as a warning to what lurked around here, possibly lurked. It stayed as a symbol of hope, of what the knight managed to achieve and what the villagers managed to achieve. But then over time, of course, it disappeared. And then it was said that a stone version of the Griffin was placed over that very same door, that one there. But now there is nothing left. There is a carving, a stone carving, which is this one here, which looks remarkably like a griffin without any wings. So it could just be a lion, but we're not sure. But this folktale, has it got any bearing in truth? I'll let you be the judge of that. So folklore founders, I shall leave you with this beautiful view behind me. Thank you so much for coming along on another folklore found to discover the folk tales and the folklore that's just beneath our feet. Now this one today of Griffydam, I highly doubt it's real, but it's a nice story anyway. The name Griffydam can be traced back to various other roots, but I prefer this story. I'm sure you do too. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to keep up to date with all the videos that go on here on my channel, Tom the Tale-Teller Phillips. And I hope to be back with some more folklore found soon. Till then, goodbye.